All right, welcome everybody to the channel. Today we have V from Smartlead returning after about a year and 6 months. V, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you for having me again, sir. Been a journey the past years, God's grace, but yeah, we're here now, and it's win-win-win.
Awesome. Well, for people that don't know who you are, because I'm assuming 75% of my audience at least knows what Smartlead is. Maybe not who you are, but at least Smartlead. So the first question always, before we get into the follow-up stuff, is who are you and what do you do?
Uh, if people know Smartlead about me, I think that's the best thing that can ever happen. But yeah, my name's Vaibhav, or call me go by V, just because it's easy for everyone. We help send cold emails at scale, right? The premise over here is a lot of companies use us to generate outbound revenue and build pipeline for their sales teams. And the avenue that they do that right now with our platform is using emails. So um, I'm grateful to be running that company right now with a good 38 incredibly intelligent people and hardworking people. And yeah, that's what I do right now on a day-to-day perspective.
Awesome. Well, last we spoke, it was February 14th of 2023. So quite a long time ago. We've had a couple Google and Outlook changes since then, and a lot of other things changed. So I like to focus this interview on kind of what has happened either with your product and also kind of in the macro sense of cold email since then. And the first question I'd love to start us off with is talking about Smartlead. A lot of people listening to my channel use Smartlead, or at least they're familiar with it. What have been some of the main product changes in the last year you're most excited about?
In terms of our product, the changes that we
Yes.
made, I mean, the product's upside down, like pretty much everything's rebuilt, right? So the way our master inbox is pretty much, you don't need to worry about having any other external tool because we capture all the data on our side. It's a real-time engine. Our deliverability algorithm has dramatically improved in the way it, ensures emails are consistently being pushed at scale, and we're trying our best to have a feedback loop that improves, or we can identify patterns, right, to ensure the deliverability is as strong as possible. The API is dramatically more efficient in the way a lot of companies have white labeled our product now, not only on a UI perspective, but on API perspective. So we're actually working with a lot of data companies who pretty much built their entire email infrastructure on our platform. The platform's just become a bit more holistic and complete in terms of the vision and journey that we want to chase, which is by nature and means the single platform that solves the evergreen problem of email deliverability, right? That's never going to go away. And as long as it doesn't, our goal is to try be at the peak of it. And, people like Felipe, your co-founder, were instrumental in helping us, right? And I think in the time we spoke, we had the Zoho outage
Yeah.
where that happened. We had multiple issues with Outlook, multiple issues with Gmail. But what I would tell people at this point in time, because 2 years seems like such a short cycle to pretend like you know everything, but I think in our space, 2 years is more than enough to be like every 3 months people will say it's dying, and then about a month of hell, and then you're back to absolutely smashing it and killing goals, right? That's just, I guess, the nature of any cyclical market and how it works even in our space. But what we've seen is just things just don't stop and things keep going. But anyway, jumping back to your question in terms of products, so it's just a more improved holistic solution. We've added a stronger analytics. We've improved our tracking mechanisms. We've improved our bounce detection mechanisms. Like I said, we improved our selling algorithm that we consistently keep, getting better at, and so on and so forth. And we've got some very exciting releases coming out in the next few weeks, which again will tackle on the premise of transparent deliverability, end-to-end data management, automations, and a whole other fun stuff, a fun set of things that I think will make people fall more in love with the product, hopefully.
Awesome. And one thing you mentioned there is people are always talking about, oh, cold email's dying, right? I think cold email has a faster cycle of people saying it's going to break. It's the same thing you hear of Facebook. Facebook has a change, or Google changes the way their SEO algorithm works. But with cold email, I think what it is cold email requires diversification and changing what you do in settings very frequently, right? You can't just have Zoho or Outlook or Google or GoDaddy or one-on-one. Like, you genuinely need to be on top of a tech and extremely proactive. And I think most people aren't used to a marketing channel that requires so much technical knowledge. Because like Facebook, it's pretty much just Facebook ads. Google ads, obviously there's technicalities, but with cold email, it really does change fast. So talking about cold email from a macro perspective, what are the core changes in deliverability you've seen in the last year?
I mean, since the thing that we've seen that Google released recently, which is open track. I think open tracking was dead long time ago, but that's a big shift
For
right now
years.
by nature. It was gone for a long time. I think marketers are the ones who sort of pushed for it proactively to say we need open tracking as a premise. Like that. Okay, sweet. That doesn't matter. We've seen an increase. I think the question was patterns, right? Things that have changed. We've seen an advent of people doing SMTP networks right now, as you would have seen as well. A lot of people releasing SMTP networks outside of Google and Outlook. It's a catch-22 in my opinion. I don't know. I don't want to say I have the answer for this. Is I think it's the bigger you grow, the more careful these platforms need to be, perceptive to how scale works by nature. Um, the other thing that we've seen is people no longer doing 5 email follow-ups. It's actually 3 email follow-ups. I think after the third one, you kind of get the hint and you don't do the long tail cycle. And if you were to do long tail cycles, you stretch that over a few months, actually, right? People are effectively working towards doing soft selling a lot more. It's a lot more data driven copy. So spin tags per se won't work as impactfully as it would in the early days, because as it is with any AI model, especially Google, that is one of the best in the world, they're smart enough to start picking up, the premise of syntax, which is synonymous copy, versus when you start doing a lot more customized AI copy, where it's literally, an email that is written from A is completely different from an email that's written in B, even in format, structure, and the expectation or CTA of the email. So I think a lot of advent and change and updates and upgrades in terms of using AI by nature in email, just because I think 4.0, 4.0 mini, all the LLMs that have come into the world to help in that piece. And then I think the last thing that has made a big impact or change in terms of cold email deliverability is also comes down to, and the reason I'm saying the copy, sorry, sound, the copy is making a difference in deliverability. Before, 7 years ago, it was DKIM, DMARC, SPF, right? They realized, okay, people got smart enough to sort that out. Then they realized, okay, sending patterns, got smart enough to figure that out. Now, what they're trying to do is thing that is the most difficult to change, which is copy, right? So people who have unique ways of writing copy are the ones by nature who are winning, right? Infrastructure is important, don't get me wrong, but by more than anything, what we're seeing more and more of is people who have variable copy by nature tend to do better than someone who don't have variable copy. Now you can say, all right, does that mean AI is the only way? No, it just means you can write copy and have enough variables injected into it that each email just by nature looks very different. Because in the end, filler words are filler words, AI or not AI. So yeah, I guess the biggest takeaway for this is there's a big push perceptive to the copy that you use, and there's a big push perceptive to the SMTP network that you use.
Two things I'd like to point out there. One thing you mentioned is the amount of variation of copy. And this is a big thing we've noticed too, because it's not just syntax, but it's structure. So one of the things we found that's quite challenging is it used to be, this is our cold email that works, let's scale it. Now it's not, this is the cold email that works, let's scale it. It's how can we get the same effect in a cold email that uses completely different principles and structure, which is more complicated. Our highest skilled client right now, they have 30 versions of email A, and I have to intentionally move things around in ways that I know don't work as well, only for deliverability, which
Yeah.
that's very difficult to write when you're writing in ways that aren't natural to you, and B, it's a ton of effort. And it goes back to like the people who are going to take that effort are the ones who are going to win. But it's quite difficult.
In any marketing channel, right? There's always a moment when it works and then it stops working, right? I think our space is rather interesting. It doesn't stop working. It does get difficult, but it does go cycles of being easy and not easy. So with Facebook ads, every single day that we live on this planet, Facebook ads get more expensive. Just what it is, right? Um, with outbound, same thing. Every day we live on this planet, it gets more difficult. But it gets easier difficult and it gets harder difficult, if you get what I mean, in like cycles of a year. 3 months it's difficult, but this is actually really good because the other 3 months are always really hard and it's not good, right? With ads, or with anything rather, it's each day you spend more time on it, it gets more and more difficult for you to do. SEO is the only different angle over here, but then again, SEO has supposedly been dead for 10 years too, so what do I know, right? Everything's dead. Like I think people just love the headlines, right? It just what would you read more, right? Would you read something saying cold emailing is dead if you are a person doing cold emailing, right? Because it attains to your job, or will you read an article that says here's 5 ways to build sustainable growth models?
Yeah.
No, you're not going to read that one. You're going to read the first one, right? That's just fear sells. It's we're not saying anything new, right? It's age old marketer speak is fear sells. Fear is the best way to go ahead and drive everything. It's loss aversion is what people want to, avert towards, incline it towards. So yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because a very common I get a question. It's something along the lines of, why don't you like cold calling or LinkedIn? And that's assumed because I do cold email. But like I always tell people, like marketing is platform agnostic generally. Now you can't
It's the
cold
same thing. You do all,
influencers,
yeah,
but
yeah.
for the most part, if your audience can be reached by a platform, ads work, SEO works, organic content works, conference shows work, cold calling works, mail works, cold email works. It's literally just mechanism. So I like what you're saying here because it changes, but it's mechanism. You know, social proof, good offer, good copy, testing, effort, that works with everything.
People want to find an easy way, is what I've come to learn. And when they realize there is no easy way, most stop and just a few follow through. I think it it's weird that it's a saying, right? It's cliche because it's true. Um, and I think it's absolutely true where everyone says this is dead or this is dead or this is working. It's everything, right? Like we're lead generation platform. We do outbound, right? We do inbound. We do SEO. We do content. We do LinkedIn. We do advertising. Heck, if I had an opportunity to do some offline ads and get some virality through like some, billboards, I would do it. There's nothing stop like when people just stick to one vertical and say that is the only vertical you can do to drive rep. It's not the case. That's the dumbest thing. It's an age-old argument of better product beats better marketing or better marketing beats better product. It's not binary. Both have to exist because a better product will beat better marketing in 2 to 3 years' time. But to get to 2, 3 years' time, better marketing will beat better product. It's a balance. You can't just always have better marketing because at some point your shitty product is going to catch up and you're going to burn enough customers that they will go to because you've done all the hard work of getting people problem aware with all the marketing that you've done. So the new person just needs to come in and be like, yeah, like the problem, but all these issues you're facing with them, here, I've done this for you, right? So same sort of state with growth channels. LinkedIn works, cold email works, cold calling works, conferences work. Door to door probably even works for all I know, right? So sponsoring F1 cars might work. I have no idea. Like just, you try everything, right? And you see what sticks. So yeah.
It's funny you mentioned door to door because I got started in business a decade ago when I was 14. And the first way I got clients was I printed flyers and I just knocked on doors at businesses. If you like, that's probably the fastest way to get a client because if you genuinely knock on 500 doors, someone will take a sympathy meeting with you.
That's it. That's it. But doesn't matter, right? A deal's a deal. How you got it doesn't matter.
So I like the mindset there. Now, one question kind of transitioning back to Smart Lead is we talked about some of the things you've worked on. What are the things that are upcoming that you're excited about that people get a little teaser for?
Um, the fun one is I was very happy when Google decided to shank open rates altogether because it works in just in time for what we're trying to launch to the market, and it's just God's blessing we've got this coming in right in time. So for whoever's waiting or whoever's watching this, I don't know when this goes live, but effectively if it goes live in the next few days, we'll have released a new product within the platform that by nature will hopefully make open rates a redundant metric altogether. So that's one thing working towards is a better transparent proof mechanism to give you access to true deliverability. We've got our own sending platform coming up soon as well, which is exciting. We're working with a bunch of people on that, which is also exciting. The other thing that I can sort of jump into is the usual stuff, like without going too in and getting the marketing team upset with me because I just thrown everything away, but trying to make the product complete in terms of more angles of inefficiencies customers are facing. People can pick and pull whatever they want out of that. But that's what we're working towards is understanding everything people are doing again and again and fixing that. I think that's been the product philosophy is what are things, jump on a call with someone and just observe what they're doing, ask them what they're doing, and figure out what they're doing multiple times without them even knowing they're doing it multiple times, and then bring a solution to that. Those are the best ideas, in my opinion, right? I know ideas, nothing, blah, 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 but just to not parallel, but like an example to give, right? The unconscious activity that we perform because we've accepted it as a reality are usually the best products or ideas and problems to solve. Easiest example, before Uber Eats or Uber or whatever it is, right? We've accepted that taxis were the only way we could go from left to right. Just a given. Or let's just take, I think there's a DoorDash. I think not DoorDash. What's the thing where you get Instamart or Instacart in the US, right? We just accepted the fact that we had to get groceries. It was just a given. Let's fix that. It's such a stupid problem to solve, but let's just fix that. But it is where it is right now, right? So I think a lot of what we're doing is just taking things that people have just accepted and fixing that, because that's where, in my opinion, true value lies, and that's where the really large problems are solved, is in solving what is accepted as a norm. That doesn't mean like breaking shit for the sake of it, but like, why care about open rates? It was an exception. We just accepted that that's what mattered. Cool, let's find a way to fix it. What are people doing right now to work around that? Let's pick that up, let's solve for it. Similarly, so I think a lot of our product philosophy that the audience will see, our customers will see over the next 3 to 6 months is pinned on this principle right now.
Well, that was an exciting teaser for people to get ready. Let's see what changes happen. This should be uploaded in about 5-6 days, so maybe something cool will be live then.
Not just then yet. Maybe a few days right after. Maybe about 5 days after it's uploaded. So yeah.
That's okay, man. So sometime this month.
Yeah, in the next weekend, before 14 September, there should be something, but I don't want to say that date because then the product team will hate me. So sometime this month, you should have something exciting.
All right. Well, that's something to look forward to. V, thanks so much for your time. As always, we'll have Smartlead linked in the description. Is there any other links you want me to share?
No, just the website will be great. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's good to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll speak sooner than a year and 6 months from now and check in again.
Easy, mate. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. For the first time ever, we have a blooper on the video. We're here with my dog King and April at our family home in LJ, Georgia. And I got a box from Smartlead, which honestly, I didn't know this was coming. And it wasn't supposed to be part of the video, but I thought this might be fun for a little unboxing. So we are a Smartlead partner. I think we're one of like 30 or something that's certified to use the platform. Normally that link is in the description. But anyways, they sent us a box and no one sends me anything. So I thought it'd be cool to do a little unboxing. Nika, my cameraman or woman, can you get a little close up here? We have a nice letter. What else do we have? We have a Tumblr, Smartlead.ai. There we go. We have a wireless charger. Let's open this up really quick. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like a coaster. Nice. What's the Smartlead partner? We have a moleskin, which I love these things, but I'm too cheap to buy them myself. And it looks like a hoodie. Let me set this down so it doesn't fall off our balcony. And we have this. Did they get my size right? Let's see. Yeah, they did. XO, here we go. A Smartlead certified partner hoodie. So thank you, V, and the Smartlead team. And you can hear my dog barking, so it's time to go. Thanks for watching.